Join us every Thursday from 12:30 p.m. to 1:55 p.m. on 88.4 Royal FM, the Listeners Radio, and live on Facebook at Royal FM Cameroon.
Family health.
Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease for infirmity.
Listeners, good afternoon and welcome to yet another edition of Family Health, your favorite program on Royal FM 88.4. If you're just joining us, you're onto Family Health, and I am happy to be with you this afternoon. Trust me, it's going to be amazing. Family Health today is going to be assisted by some of our technical team, and it is made up of Ulrich Kremwe, who is our sound engineer, and for video editing is Jean-Marie Otto, for coordination is Jean-Passion Tala, and for general supervision is Reverend Pastor Bisa Emmanuel Noel. I am FRINUE CRISPIN for the presentation. We are going to be from now to 1:30 p.m. on this program. We are going to be discussing sex education. It's going to be amazing, so you will not feel bored because we will have beautiful music to entertain you and also excellent slots in the program. It's going to be great.
Nothing where I get where you know give me. Nothing where I get where you know give me. Imela to the one who never leaves me stranded. Imela to the one who never sleeps nor slumber. Imela, to the one who never leaves me stranded. Imela, Jesus. Imela, nothing where I get where you know give me. Oh, yeah, nothing where I get where you know give me. Oh, yeah, nothing where I get where you know give me.
Thank you very much, Ulrich Kemwe, for that beautiful music sung by Mercy Chimo. Hey, I hope I pronounced it very well. The title is Emailer, and it's from her new album. It is so beautiful, just like her other music. I think it's time for us to have the maso.
And it's 1, 2, 3. Maso Act 3. What if your solution comes from the mutual assistance and solidarity? Take the rendezvous for July 9, 2023 at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex as from 2 p.m. to celebrate African solidarity. Get registered and contribute as from 100 francs CFA. Certainly, you will be the beneficiary of one of the television sets, one of the refrigerators, one of the cookers, one of the set of chairs, or one of the complete bed plus mattress and 2 pillows. These, according to your choice and to permit you live a fulfilled life. At Maso, we simply live our African values.
And you know, Maso has a lot you can benefit from. So on this day, we are going to talk about household equipment. Yes, it is available in the Maso. The different offers that the Maso has, household equipment are also there. And we have Maso Classic and Maso Gold. In Maso Gold, we have 20 offers, that is television sets, refrigerators, gas cookers, chairs, that is couch or living room chairs. We have beds, mattresses, and pillowcases. You can get all of this from Maso Gold and Maso Classic, but the difference now is that Maso Classic, it is refundable. If you happen to be a winner of one of these equipment, you will have to refund it to the Maso. But now on Maso Gold, it is not refundable. But now that the contributions are different, in Maso Classic you will have a contribution, a yearly contribution of 26,000 francs. Then you have to register 500 francs so that you continue with your contribution. That will make you eligible to take part in the raffle draw. Then in Maso Gold, it is not refundable. If you happen to win, you will not refund it because your contribution is different. Here you will need a yearly contribution of 52,000 francs CFA. Then for the weekly or daily contribution, you will need 200 francs per day, 1,000 francs per week, and then 52,000 francs per year that it goes to Maso Gold. So this one stands for television sets, refrigerators, gas cookers, and chairs for living rooms, beds, mattresses, and all of that. That goes for household equipment. And then also we would like to remind you that we are left with just 7 days to the 29th of June date limit for registrations and contributions into the Maso. Just 7 days. You have 7 days to round up with your contributions if you're still backward, or to register if you're still hesitating. Also, we are already 17 days to the July 9, 2023. That is, July 9 is the day slated for the raffle draw ceremony to take place at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex. Please be preparing because it's going to be something grandiose. And also, we would like to inform you that we have several Maso polls in Yaoundé. In case you want to go there and round up with your contributions or withdraw your identification form, yes, the identification forms are already available and you can get them. And even if you happen not to have your identification form, please, you will use your pre-enrollment form into the Maso to take part in the raffle draw. We won't send you away, so you can get to any of these Maso pool. We have one at Monte Edigefa, and then the next one is at Nkwabang. All of these Maso pools are under RENAPRO Finance SA because Maso, it's a child of RENAPRO Finance SA. So you can go there The branch that you meet there, that's where the Maso pool is. Then the last one is here at Royal FM, the radio house. We are hosting the Maso pool. You can get here to have your identification form or whatsoever information you want to get about the Maso. It is located opposite CAMAIR-CO, just next to the entrance of the Mfundi Market, and the building where it is called Immeuble Binam. The second floor, you get there and you will get everything you need to know about the Maso. And I equally have this important information to pass to you. It is a press release to all transporters, presidents of transporter trade unions. All presidents of transporters trade unions are invited to an important working session which will take place this Friday, June 2023 at 1 p.m. prompt, precisely at the conference hall of the cabinet of the chairman of the board of directors of Renapro Finance SA, located at Kwabang, precisely the place called Ngulzamba. This meeting will essentially focus on the balance sheet, the restitution of the activities of MASO Act 3, which is coming to an end, and the projection of future prospects. This press release is intended for wider diffusion. Done in Yaoundé, the 19th of June 2023, the Director of Cabinet, Amogo Mbezeli. That's just how it is. So the presidents of all transporters trade union or association, please, you are urged to attend the meeting. It starts very soon at 1 p.m. I'm sure that some people are already there because we are left just with few minutes to 1 p.m. So that's the information I got for you today in the Maso.
At Maso, we simply live our African values.
Whoa, 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 yeah.
I was picking up your clothes in the closet. I was about to throw your jeans in the washer. Till I saw a piece of paper saying Tasha. I gotta say, I found this a bit shocking. It's some receipts here to say you went shopping. You bought some Nike shoes, but why you buying stockings? Boy, how could you lie to me? Thought you would die for me. I'm not accepting another apology. After 3 years, I'ma let it go. Can't stand around crying no more. Got your bags packed sitting by the door. I'ma leave your heart broken on the floor. You gon' be in the emergency room. I'm standing by your bed and so tempted to pull out your IV. You gon' be in the emergency room. I'm fighting with myself. I can't hurt you even though you hurt me. You gon' be in the emergency room. Trying to call a nurse, but nobody can help you now. Let me see you try to live without me. Now where's your heartbeat? Flatline on the EKG. Well, I was home late at night watching TV. Got a call from a girl saying Riri. Saw your man in the club, I thought he was out of town doing business. Said that he'd be back in 3 weeks. Now I'm mad, sitting in the kitchen getting sad, looking at your pictures. Boy, how could you lie to me? Thought you would die for me. I'm not accepting another apology. After 3 years, I'ma let it go. Can't stand around crying no more. Got your bags packed sitting by the door. I'ma leave your heart broken on the floor. You gon' be in the emergency room. I'm standing by your bed and so tempted to pull out your IV. You gon' be in the emergency room. I'm fighting with myself. I can't hurt you even though you hurt me. You gon' be in the emergency room. Trying to call a nurse, but nobody can help you now. Let me see you try to live without me. Now where's your heartbeat? Flatline on the EKG.
I did you wrong, girl. Had a bunch of numbers in my phone, girl. But we've been in this relationship too long, girl, for you to be listening to your silly home, girl. It's better gone, girl. Now, baby, think about it. Everything we do, they gon' read about it. Put it on the radio and TV outlet. Do you wanna see a picture in that paper? You know them haters. You hear that 808?
I told you at the beginning of the program that we are going to be having sweet, beautiful music on Family Health, and you just got their beautiful music. Apparently, you, Nurse Kange Sonita, it's our guest. Let me just introduce her roughly because I want to ask her the question. Good afternoon to you, Nurse.
Good afternoon. Our journalist with the vibes.
Thank you. I love your glasses. You've changed your glasses.
Oh Lord.
Thank you. You love that music that was just playing.
Rihanna, Akon, Emergency Room.
Oh, tell me, that was when you were still young.
Yeah, of course. I'm very old, of course.
No, it's not to say that she's not old. She's a young girl. You can even give her 16. Yeah, 16, sweet 16.
Okay, all right.
In fact, that's not our topic of discussion. It was just an aside. And today we are going to be discussing sex education, and that's why we invited our medical health experts, because she's well placed to talk about that. We needed somebody that is going to, a teacher that is more like a teacher that is going to teach these parents out there who are shy to talk about stuff like this with their children. She's going to enlighten them a little bit. So Nurse Kange Sonita, I want to welcome you once more and just go straight to the question. What is sex education?
Thank you very much. When we ask what is sex education, from the topic sex education, it's already the answer. It's education about sex. Now, when we talk about sex, many people only think of sexual intercourse, but sex has to do with a lot. We have gender, which has to do with sex, because sex is what defines whether you are a male or a female. So that is it about sex. And now when it comes to sex education, it is designed to help young people gain the information and the skills they need to make the best decision for themselves about sex and relationship throughout their lives.
Very important, sex education. So you said that sex education is not only about intercourse, and it is about gender, it is about so many things that you enumerated already. But now I want to find out, first question, why is it so difficult for parents nowadays? I don't know whether before they used to do it, but it is difficult for parents nowadays to really sit like this and teach their children about sex education. The children either discover it outside the house, in school, with their friends, but the parents, without their parents like sitting them and talking to them about it, like they should hear it from their parents for the first time. Why is it really uncommon like that?
Well, first thing foremost is ignorance. As I said, most parents, they think sex education is encircled on sexual intercourse, and that is not all about sex education. Sexual intercourse is just a little component about sex education, which is very important as well, in order to bring out the children, to understand some certain aspect of it. Now, when we talk of sex education, they fail to understand that we are talking about transmission of HIV and other STIs. They fail to understand that it's about reducing risks of unwanted pregnancy and the benefits of abstinence, or how to use contraception or decision making towards sexual practices. And they also fail to understand that it's about the child understanding the differences between their gender and why they are the way they are. So when they don't understand this particular aspect, they will shy away. And you see, most of our parents, they never as well had sex education, and because they never had sex education, at one point they don't feel it right to also transmit it to their children. So they will expect their children to just grow and explore it, forgetting that the world has expanded so fast in such a way that even on social media they can easily get it. Social media has transmitted information so fast, and so now in our time, they think they are still in the time where everything was being done, or you would not get to know about sex as a whole when you are already in a marital home. But it's not the same nowadays. Everything, cartoons, TV programs, they are all drilled towards sex, and if you don't give the right sex education to your children, then definitely they will come up to maybe explore by themselves and in a wrong way.
It will lead to some kind of dangerous consequences.
Yes, which sex education could actually prevent.
And those consequences, of course, we are going to talk about them. But now I want us to talk about the importance of sex education. How is it important to discuss sex education with our children, with the young ones?
Now, as I said, it is actually very important to talk about the sex education because it has a lot of benefits. First and foremost, I would like to say that a better understanding of sexual diversity is being gotten from sex education. So sex education brings the child to understand the diversity of their sexuality, of their gender, and all of that. And then another one is the development of healthy relationships. You see, some people tend to have unhealthy relationship due to the fact that they never had sex education. And so when you bring sex education into play, they are able to maybe identify their different relationships and work on it in a healthy manner. It also increases media literacy. There's a lot of things going on in our media, and when you want to look at the media, you will see that a lot of information is being given out, and they are all raw. They are all raw. They are not broken down in such a way that they can actually understand where this is coming from, how you should maybe reach, when you are supposed to do this, why you should do this. So they see it raw and they want to explore. Now we also have it. Sex education also reduces unintended pregnancy. What we always say, unwanted pregnancy. I always say there's nothing like unwanted pregnancy. If you're going in for sex, expect pregnancy.
Of course.
So it is not wanted. You can say unintended or unplanned for. So actually, sex education reduces unintended pregnancy, and it also lowers the likelihood of contracting sexually transmitted infection. It actually reduces it. HIV, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea. It reduces those risks, and it's also one of the most important part of it is it prevents intimate partner violence and child sex abuse. Because if sexual education is actually made so important or emphasized, we will not have violence, partner violence, or we will not have child sex abuse. So it's actually these are maybe few of the most important aspects of sex education.
Thank you very much, Nurse Kange Sonita, for those explanations. And I told you that we have slots in this program. I think it's time for us to take the first slot, and that is the discovery page.
Family Health, our discovery, our discovery.
And for today's discovery page is Crystal Mando. Good afternoon to you, Crystal Mando.
Good afternoon, FRINUE Crispin. Greetings to the guests in the studio and to all the listeners of Family Health. Today in our discovery page, we are going to discover the health benefits of pure honey every individual should know. Honey is sweet, syrupy, golden colored liquid made by honey bees has been proven over time to be beneficial to the human race, with benefits ranging from health to diet, economy, and much more. The golden syrup has been passed down from generations because of its immense benefits. According to Healthline.com, there are some health benefits you tend to enjoy when you take honey appropriately. It is a powerhouse of diverse nutrients. 1 tablespoon or 21 grams of raw honey contains 64 calories and 17 grams of sugar. Raw honey also contains small amounts of micronutrients or vitamins and minerals. We have calcium, magnesium, manganese, Honey also helps in healing wounds. A 2018 review of studies found that honey has antimicrobial properties. A 2017 review of studies also suggested that honey, propolis, and royal jelly may have potential health benefit for microbial inhibition and wound healing. Lastly, it has antibacterial and antifungal properties. Research has shown that the propolis in raw honey has antifungal and antibacterial properties. Honey's effectiveness as an antibacterial or antifungal varies depending on the honey, but some varieties are being studied for specific therapeutic uses such as against candida-associated infections. This is what we got for you in our Discovery page today. Have a nice day and stay blessed.
Thank you very much, Crystal Mando. We hope to have you next week for another interesting Discovery page. Let's go back into our topic of discussion, which is sex education. And dear listeners, if you're just joining us, you're on to Family Health, and I wish to remind you that our lines are open and you can reach us on these lines to give or to ask any questions from our medical health experts who is here in the studio. 671-1573-21, 671-1573-21, or 658-089121, or 620-377481. Those are the lines you can use to join us this afternoon in case you have any worries, doubts, or any question to ask. And let's go back to our topic of discussion, which is sex education. We have spoken about we've defined what sex education is, the importance, and now we are going to talk about the types of sex education. I had no idea there are types, so today I'm going to learn. So will you, dear listeners?
Okay, all right. Many people, we don't really know that there are types, but then from the three main types that we have here, some of us, we've been getting of one. And that's the first type that I usually talk about. We have the abstinence only sex education. With the abstinence only sex education, in fact, that's what I was brought up with. Abstinence only sex education, and it has limitations, of course. But now with abstinence only sex education, they talk of premarital sex being wrong. Having sexual intercourse before marriage is actually wrong. That is what they talk about in this abstinence only sex education. And then they talk of it being harmful to social, religious, physical, and it has psychological consequences. Also, they don't really emphasize on safe sex practices. So they just emphasize, do not go in for it. Don't. It is a sin. It is wrong. It is going to do this. It is going to. They don't actually go in to give maybe ways in which you can actually maybe use the right one. And with this particular one, they actually avoid talking about the taboos of some sexual practices, which we have abortions, we have masturbations and things like that. They don't address those points. And
Let's
you see that
caller, please. I'm going to cut you short. On line 2. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, how
Ici
do
le
you...
patriarche maréchal.
Le patriarche, you're welcome.
Ah, thank you. Je pense que vous parlez de la sexualité.
Yes.
Chez les jeunes.
Yes, of course.
Ah, mais n'avez-vous pas remarqué que ces jeunes vont plus vite que la vitesse du son dans la sexualité? Moi, je suis pour une éducation à la sexualité et non une éducation à la pornographie. Regardez un peu les outils de télécommunication qu'ils utilisent, sans toutefois oublier à la maison ce bouquet-là, dans la perversité. Parce que lorsque je suis peut-être couché à 1 heure tardive, ces derniers, pendant que nous sommes en journée, regardent certaines images naturelles dans le vécu au quotidien. Il y a des autres adultes qui sont dans ces chaînes de la perversité sexuelle et oublient qu'il y a une école dans la sexualité. Et dans la sexualité, on n'y va pas n'importe comment. Il y a des méthodes, il y a des conséquences et surtout les plus néfastes. En ce moment, la période des vacances, où les jeunes s'activent à pouvoir se divertir, le divertissement ne devrait pas être le libertinage. On va les retrouver dans différents recoins des plaisirs mondains. Et les conséquences vont être néfastes pour certaines jeunes filles. Quand cette goutte de sperme va produire un fruit humain, alors là, on dira, si je savais. Je vous encourage, mais j'espère qu'ils sont à l'écoute, parce que ces enfants, ils vont plus vite que le son.
That's true. Thank you very much, Le Patriarch Marishal. We are so happy that you contributed today on the program. Let's go back, nurse.
You and dog. Okay, please, I want to comment on what he said.
You're free.
Actually, what Pa is saying is very correct. There's a lot of perversity and a lot of liberty when it comes to this. And when you want to look at the root of it, is because of lack of sexual education. Maybe if there was sex education at a younger age, before they could maybe turn to explore what they are exploring, trust me, we won't have what we are having. But the fact that parents concealed the right information, thinking that they are still small to get the right information, trust me, they go out to explore. And to align with this abstinence only sex education, trust me, when they keep saying abstain, some people turn to actually want to know what is it that we are really because normally the child will always want to go where they say don't go. So I think that this actually has contributed to the perversity we are having nowadays. If children actually had the right thing, the right information from parents, some parents they don't want to tell the truth. Say sex is good, tell them it is good, and let them know that you will enjoy it at the right time. But if you keep telling them and covering that aspect, trust me, they will go for exploration. And when they go and see that it is good, they will continue. To explore anyhow. So that is one thing that has actually failed in our society, and we see a lot of perversion. So
to continue with the types.
We have the abstinence plus sex education. We have abstinence only, then we have abstinence plus sex education. And with this abstinence plus sex education, they emphasize on some practices that some safe sex practices. And it is more of practical because they actually teach and give maybe the right information that are needed for it. And it is actually helpful at this point because maybe they teach them how to use a condom and then how to prevent pregnancy through abstinence, or using condom to prevent both pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. So in this also in this very aspect, when a person is already pregnant, they don't go in for abortion. They don't actually teach abortion. They can maybe keep the pregnancy to term and give up the baby for adoption. That's one part of abstinence plus sex education. Then the third and the last type, which is the comprehensive sex education. This is a whole package on its own and is the most effective of sex education, because it has to do with everything about sex education. You have to know the safe practices, what to do, what not to do, how to do, and then sex and sexuality is they have to teach. Here you teach a child that sex and sexuality is a normal part of life. Some parents just tell children, don't go in for this, just don't go in for this, and they forget that when immediately the child reaches puberty, the child have sexual urges already. And having sexual urges, if you've not actually taught this child that it is normal to have it. There's a call.
We have a call again on line 2. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I am coming back again.
Welcome.
All right, you're welcome. Always.
Ah, thank you. Mais j'ai oublié parce que je n'ai parlé que des jeunes filles. Il faudrait aussi parler de ces garçons. Parce que quand je parle des images qu'ils ont soit dans leur téléphone, soit devant nos écrans à la maison, à travers un bouquet de la perversité, vous allez vous rendre qu'ils n'ont même pas dialoguer avec les parents. Moi, je parle de moi, même comme le moi, il est haïssable. Je me rappelle de mon fils aîné. Vous savez, les mamans, tout dépend de leur éducation, de leur formation dans la vie de famille. Je ne vais pas faire un procès à ma défunte compagne. On m'a toujours considéré comme le diable quand j'entre sur la montagne sacrée. Parce que je suis autoritaire. Je suis regardant sur tout ce qui se passe dans la maison. Parce que les mamans, elles ont toujours cette latitude, longitude de toujours bercer leur bambin. Chez moi, c'est le bâton et la carotte. Pendant que je me retrouve en train de boire mes urines de lion, ma Simon J, I am drinking. Il m'appelle au téléphone, mon fils aîné. Il me dit, papa, je suis malade. Je lui dis, dis-moi au téléphone, qu'est-ce qui ne va pas? Il me dit, je ne peux pas parler. Je dis, parle, nous sommes des hommes. Il a attrapé le brevet de la virilité dans les maladies sexuellement transmissibles. J'ai dit, bon sang de bon Dieu. Je lui ai dit, attends quand je rentrerai. Ma soirée même s'est très mal terminée. Je me suis levé, je lui ai dit, tu dors. Si ça peut se couper, la torche que tu promènes partout là, ça doit se couper. Il a pleuré jusqu'au matin. Il l'a amené à l'hôpital. Et c'est plus tard qu'il a commencé à comprendre que je n'étais pas méchant. Je lui donnais une éducation à la sexualité. Parce qu'eux, ils sont à l'éducation de la pornographie. Ils ont des sensations fortes, avec des conséquences néfastes. Je loue encore cette émission cet après-midi. Même comme ils sont en balade, je leur dirai quand ils vont rentrer de leur sport. Moi, j'ai parlé avec des belles dames à la radio. Comme vous n'aimez pas écouter la radio, vous aimez toujours regarder des imbécilités imagées. Mais je suis très regardant parce que je lui ai donné des consignes les plus strictes. Je ne veux pas voir n'importe qui, n'importe comment, comme j'ai une fille chez moi.
Thank you very much, le patriarche Marichal. You know, you're so great. He has a lot of advice to give out, especially to the young ones. Do you want to comment again?
No, he answered it. So at this point, we just
we're actually currently on the last type of sex education,
which was comprehensive sex education. And here I was saying that they emphasize on sex and sexuality being a normal part of life. And before the call came in, I was saying that most often when a child or when a young girl or boy reaches puberty, they are already at a point of having sexual urges. And if you haven't played your own role as a parent to give them sex education, at one point they will turn to mess up. They will turn to go into activities. I find myself with some younger ones in blind groups where they come out to confess. They have been masturbating for over how many years because of that particular aspect. Lack of sex education, and they are addicted to it. And nothing, at one point they need severe counseling and therapy follow-up and things like that. But how are you going to lay your hands on such when they are hiding to confess? They need someone to talk to, but they feel they will be judged. So actually that's something that we really need to take into consideration. And also the aspect that most young, you see, even I've caught 5-year-old, 3 years old, 6 years old trying to practice sexual intercourse.
Really?
Yes, I've had them in the quarters years back and even till date. So you don't even know. They will ask, what age are you supposed to? Immediately the child know the differences of who is who. 3 years, 5 years, you should start by teaching them this particular person is a female. You teach the parts, the body parts. Is it You have, as a female, you have a vagina, you have a vulva. The vulva is not the vagina. You have a urethra. Some people, they don't know the differences.
Yes.
And we have women that even get married without knowing where the vagina opening is and where the difference between the vagina and the urethra. So it's actually very important to lay this from the foundation. Immediately the child start questioning, start being curious. Please satisfy the child's curiosity.
Of course, very, very important. You know, our listeners are happy that they are really, really sensitizing. We are really sensitizing the youth presently, if at all they are listening, and I'm sure that the parents will listen and go and pass on the information to them. Let's take the last slot in this program, and the last slot is Grandma's recipe.
Family Health, Grandma's Recipe, Grandma's Recipe.
And for Grandma's recipe, it is only our one and only Grandma Germaine. Good afternoon to you, Grandma Germaine.
Good afternoon, FRINUE Crispin. Good afternoon to all your listeners. Good afternoon to all your guests. You guys are warmly welcome to Grandma's Recipe. Today in Grandma's Recipe, we're going to talk about what should we use to kill cancer or to defeat cancer. We all know that cancer is a killer disease that everyone is afraid of. But this morning, I'm coming to give you hope for those who are suffering from cancer. Okay, there are more and more people whose disease have been cured by raw sweet potato juice treatment. So, sweet potato juice treatment not only can cure cancer, it also cures liver disease, diabetes, gastric ulcer, kidney disease, heart disease, high blood pressure, low back pain, and shoulder pains, etc. So, there are a lot of things that this raw sweet potato juice can actually heal. So, raw sweet potato juice treatment poses no danger. Anyone can try out the treatment and actually feel the effect within very short span. Those in pain after drinking sweet potato juice for 1 to 2 weeks, the pain will gradually be relieved. Those who are not in pain, once you persist with this treatment for a while, the appetite will recover, you will look better, and the body strength will slowly recover. So how are you supposed to make these sweet potato juice? The amount of sweet potato needed for first preparation: big sweet potato 1 to 3 pieces, small sweet potatoes 3-4 pieces. Wash sweet potato cleanly, remove all the splinter parts, grate into pieces with vegetable grater. After grating, wrap them in clean woven cloth or cotton hem cloth with big pores. Then squeeze it hard to squeeze out juice. Drink this juice 30 to 60 minutes before breakfast and dinner on an empty stomach. If possible, 1 glass before dinner. Every time, drink immediately after preparation, and daily persistence is most important. So that's what we got for you today in Grandma's Recipe. See you next week by the grace of God, of course. Stay blessed.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say the time's supposed to heal ya, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles.
Outside
so typical of me to talk about myself. I'm sorry. I hope that you will. Did you ever make it out of that town where nothing ever happened? It's no secret that the both of us are running out of time. So how from the other side, I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from the other side. At least I can say that
To tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. Yeah. You never seem to be home anymore. That's from Adele, and the title is Hello. It's a beautiful music. It is truly, the music has been out for a very long time, for years now, but to me it's always new, it's always fresh, it's always amazing. Thank you very much, Ulrich, for that beautiful selection. And if you're just joining us, you're onto family health, and we have been discussing sex education. We have elaborated so many points, and now we are going to talk about the consequences of not having sex education on the youth, especially because the consequences are mostly on the youths. What are the consequences, Nurse Kange Sonita?
Yeah, if you were so keen, you will understand that the consequences come from the discussion we already had.
I did.
And you see that when you don't give sex education to our younger ones, to the youth or to the teenagers most especially, and even those little babies that you think they have nothing, trust me, you're exposing them to sexually transmitted infection like HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia. You're exposing them to that. You're also exposing them to unplanned pregnancy, and some might even go for abortion. I remember having a child of 15 years old that had committed abortion, and reason being that the child had not yet been educated on maybe safe sex practices, had no notion about sex education. So imagine a child of 15 years committing abortion, criminal abortion. That child is already exposed to a lot. So actually it prevents certain things like this. It also maybe helps. It makes the ones that have not received the information to mismanage contraceptives, because contraception, family planning is part of sex education, and these contraceptive methods, we have condoms, which is commonly used, and we have other methods, and we have some bold parents. I love some parents. They bring their young daughters because they are getting to the university. They bring their daughters. I want you to give my daughter a family planning because I cannot control her, so let her know. You understand, those are parents that are already learned. Some people would think that maybe they are giving the child the right to go. No, you're protecting your child from some certain things, and when you do like that, you encourage. Please, when you're doing it with any man, use condom. Truth be told, we can actually we can teach our children abstinence only sex education, but you're not in your child's heart. As I always say, you give birth to a child, but you don't give birth to the heart. So it is always good when we have to give them all the variable informations that are needed, such that when they are making their decisions, you make sure that they are going in for healthy ones. At least Christians, from Christian homes, you have parents that teach children abstinence, and if they go out now, they just know of abstinence. They don't know of family planning. They don't know of using of condoms and all of that. They don't know of maybe maintaining one sexual partner. And if you didn't teach them this aspect, when they want to explore, because you just talked about abstinence, trust me, they will go in the wrong way. So at least the consequences are fatal when you don't do it than when you do it. So play your own role and allow the rest to God.
Thank you very much, Nurse Kange Solita, for coming. And we are already at the end of the program. We've even chopped 2 minutes. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you too.
You're always answering present whenever I call. Jai, God know how they do it in them. I'm so grateful.
I said next time I'll give you tax you pay.
Well, it will never be too heavy for me anyways. I want to thank all our listeners who have been with us and those that have been participating in the program. We are so happy that you did, and I want to thank Ulrich Kemo, who has been our sound engineer, and Jean-Marie Otto, our video editor, that has been doing his job up. He has not been let me not say it. Anyways, for coordination is Jean-Patient Tala, and for general supervision is Reverend Pastor Bisa Emmanuel Noel. I am FRINUE Crispin, thanking you, dear listeners, for being with us on today's edition. Hoping to have you next week, same time, for another interesting topic on family health. But stay tuned to our programs, and don't forget that tomorrow you will be at this same time with Raissa Parker on Fraîcheur Royale. Stay tuned to our programs. Nice day.
Royal FM, la radio des auditeurs, votre radio.
Mon ami, tu dis que tu attends un argent là? Non, fais simple. Emprunte jusqu'à 100 000 francs avec Momo Cash et rembourse sans frais en 3 jours. Tape étoile 126